The sun had barely risen over the small town of Meridon when Arham turned in his bed, groaning as the alarm buzzed. 6 a.m. He hit the snooze button and mumbled, "I'll get up in 5 minutes." 5 minutes turned into 10. 10 into 30. And soon the morning slipped away, just like every other day. Arham wasn't lazy, at least that's what he told himself. He just believed that there was always time. Tomorrow would always be there. Tomorrow would always be better. His mother called from the kitchen, "Arham, you're late again for class." He jumped out of bed, half-dressed, half awake. "Coming, Ma." But deep down, he knew. He'd been saying the same thing for months. He was late for everything. For class, for study, for life. At school, he sat by the window, watching the clouds drift. His teacher talked about deadlines, goals, and discipline, words that floated past him like air. When the bell rang, his friends rushed out, full of plans and dreams. Arham stayed behind, staring at the blackboard, whispering, "I'll do it tomorrow." One evening, his father sat beside him quietly. "Son," he said, "you keep saying tomorrow. But do you know what tomorrow really is?" Arham shrugged. "It's just another day." His father smiled sadly. "No, son. Tomorrow is a promise life doesn't always keep." The words didn't hit him then. Not yet. Weeks passed. Arham kept putting things off. His homework, his projects, his goals. He wanted to learn guitar. But tomorrow. He wanted to get fit. Tomorrow. He wanted to start reading. Tomorrow he had a list of dreams longer than the days he actually lived. At night, he would scroll through his phone, watching others succeed. He'd think, "They're lucky. They had chances." But he never realized. Their luck was built on doing things today. Then one day, something happened. It was a bright morning when Arham received a call. It was his best friend, Saad, the most driven person he knew. "Bro," Saad said excitedly, "remember the robotics competition we talked about? I got in. We're representing the region in the finals next month." Arham's eyes widened. "Wait, the one you signed up for months ago?" "Yeah," Saad laughed. "I told you to join too, but you said you'd think about it." "Tomorrow." The word hit like a slap. Tomorrow. Saad continued, "I'm heading to the capital for training. Wish me luck." Arham smiled weakly. "Good luck, bro." As the call ended, silence filled the room. He looked around, at the books he never opened, the guitar gathering dust, the goals hanging like ghosts on his wall. And for the first time, tomorrow didn't sound so comforting. It sounded cruel. That night, he couldn't sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling. His father's words echoed. Tomorrow is a promise life doesn't always keep. He thought about all the tomorrows that had come and gone. Each one had stolen a piece of his potential. Then came a whisper. Not from outside, but from within. If not now, when? Arham sat up. The room was dark, silent. But inside him, something had changed. The next morning, for the first time in years, he didn't hit snooze. He got up. He ran. He breathed in the morning air like it was the first real breath of his life. He sat at his desk and opened his notebook. His old to-do list stared back, filled with dreams and excuses. He crossed out one word from every line. He erased tomorrow. Days turned into weeks. Arham began studying again, slowly at first, then with passion. He joined evening classes. He dusted off his guitar and practiced until his fingers hurt. He helped his mother at home. He stopped procrastinating, one small step at a time. Every day he whispered, "Do it now." His friends were shocked. "Arham, you've changed, man." He smiled. "No, I just stopped waiting for tomorrow months past. The school announced a science fair. Arham decided to participate, this time without hesitation. He built a small robotic hand using recycled materials, something he had once dreamed of doing with Saad. He spent nights working, failing, rebuilding. There were times he wanted to quit, but then he remembered all the wasted tomorrows behind him. He whispered, "Not this time." The day of the fair arrived. Rows of projects lined the hall. Students presented confidently, their families cheering. When Arham's turn came, his hands trembled, but his heart burned with purpose. He explained his invention clearly, passionately, and when the robotic hand moved perfectly in sync, the crowd clapped. He didn't win first place. He didn't even win second. But he won something far greater. The moment he realized that doing it today mattered more than any trophy. A few weeks later, Saad returned from the capital. He met Arham at their favorite spot near the lake. "You look different, man," Saad said. Arham smiled. "I finally stopped waiting for the right time." Saad nodded proudly. "So, what's next?" Arham looked at the horizon. The sun was setting, but he felt the start of a new dawn inside him. "Next," he said, "I build something bigger. Not tomorrow." Today, years went by. Arham graduated, started working on innovative projects, and eventually opened a small tech company that helped students bring their ideas to life. His office wall had one quote written in bold letters: "Tomorrow is the graveyard of dreams." Do it today, he spoke at schools, teaching young students not to wait for the perfect time. One day, a boy raised his hand and asked, "Sir, when should I start working on my dream?" Arham smiled and said, "Right now." One evening, after a long day of mentoring, Arham sat by his window, just like when he was younger. But this time, he didn't look at the stars wishing for someday. He looked at his reflection and whispered, "Thank you for doing it today." The stars outside seemed to shine a little brighter, not because they changed, but because he did. Moral of the story: "I'll do it tomorrow" is the greatest lie we tell ourselves. Tomorrow never comes. It only steals today. Start now. Even small steps taken today build the future you dream of.